Welcome everyone to the Job Alike. We are so glad you are here. Today we're going to have Lindsay Lanedecker from Jacksonville Humane Society talking with us about their staycation program and how it works. It's kind of an innovative approach to fostering, and they're using it in order to help keep their length of stay low. So really appreciate you coming, Lindsay. And if you want to take it away, you're welcome.
Sure. I do have a small presentation to show everybody, but y'all, I'm not super Zoom sophisticated, so I have to figure out how to share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, it should just be. Sorry, we use Teams a lot at work, so I'm always really good at that. Okay. Oh,
no worries.
At the end of the presentation. Well, we're already done. Okay, are we good?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, hey, everybody. My name's Lindsay. I'm the Director of Community Partnerships here at the Jacksonville Humane Society in hot and humid Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm excited to talk to you guys about our shelter pet staycation program. This picture is one of my favorites. It's of Sycamore, one of our dogs who just recently went into a staycation home. And just because whenever I am hearing from someone, I like to kind of get a understanding of where they are. I'll just take just a minute and tell you guys about the Jacksonville Humane Society so you can kind of understand where we are from a numbers standpoint. So our annual intake is around 8,200 and likely a little bit higher. We do dogs and cats only, and we take in strays, owner surrenders, and we transfer in weekly from animal care and protective services. You can see our budget and staff numbers there as well. We are located in Northeast Florida. Fun fact, Jacksonville is the largest city in terms of square miles and city limits in the continental United States. So yay, that's our claim to fame, is that we're gigantic. So we have two animal welfare organizations. We have the Jacksonville Humane Society, we're the 501c3 nonprofit, and then Animal Care and Protective Services, our municipal city shelter. We are also home to First Coast No More Homeless Pets, which is an affordable high-volume spay-neuter clinic. And at the Jacksonville Humane Society, we offer a range of services, including adoption, pet retention, lost and found services, humane education, veterans programs. We have a unique diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative, volunteer foster programs, a mobile vet clinic, and we are home to Florida Leaders in Life Saving, which is an initiative to save shelter pets throughout the state of Florida. So that's just a glance at who we are, just so you can kind of get an understanding of our organization and how this program works. But I hope you find some useful nuggets to take away for you wherever you are in the world of animal welfare. So staycations. This is a short-term foster program. When we talk about fostering at the Jacksonville Humane Society, primarily our foster program, we kind of think of it as dogs and cats. For cats, we are at the height of kitten season. I actually just had to run back to my office to make it to this call because the news was here, because I had sent out a press release for a call for kitten foster parents. So I was doing an interview with the news about kittens. So it's a day for talking about fosters. So for our cats and kittens, we have that traditional model for neonatal kittens, underage kittens. But for dogs, we don't usually send them into foster homes unless they are having a medical situation. Instead, we like to do a staycation, and it's what we use for our long stay dogs and cats, and that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. So the staycation program, anyone can participate. It is for dogs and cats who have a length of stay that is 30 days or more, or they might have a special circumstance. And the staycation is just a 2-week break, and the pet returns for the weekend between. So they go, generally they'll leave, we'll try to get them into a home on a Monday or Tuesday. They'll stay a couple days in their staycation home. They'll come back to the shelter for Saturday and Sunday, then return to the staycation home, and then that following Saturday come back to the shelter permanently. The reason for that is because Saturday and Sunday are our busiest adoption days, and we want the pets to be here when we have adopters in the building. So this program goes on as needed. It's on an ongoing basis, and it's facilitated by our Animal Care and Enrichment team. We abbreviate that to ACE at JHS. So that's basically our Animal Care and Enrichment team. They handle the staycations because usually the dogs and the cats that are going out, we're sending them out with some sort of, it's usually related to some type of behavior issue. So that's generally the feedback that we want. So we've found that they're the best ones to facilitate them going in and out. And the reason that we do this is that it provides instant stress relief. Pets can decompress. We gather information about how a pet acts in a home versus a shelter, and it leads to much faster adoptions. You can see we've got some pictures here of Cupcake on her staycation. This is Cupcake with her staycation mom. She was very barrier reactive. Cupcake was having a really hard time not presenting well in her kennel. So a very nice foster family took her out for a couple days, let her crash at their home, got some great pictures and some great feedback, and then she was adopted the very same day she came back. So that is Cupcake. So in terms of that, why we prefer this method and how it's really been working for us, we prefer this because of the data. So this kind of, Kelly asked me to do this because we were having a phone call about our length of stay program. And our current length of stay for dogs is about 11 days, and for cats, it's about 19 days, but that includes their time in foster home. So we work very hard at the Jacksonville Humane Society as an entire organization. We feel that we're all responsible for length of stay. And what we found was that length of stay was really high for dogs, particularly who went into foster homes. We found that we were putting them in foster homes and they were just kind of staying there. We have a lot of wonderful tools from Maddie's about marketing dogs for adoption while they're in foster home, but it really takes, I think, a savvy foster parent. Sometimes it's hard to find them for dogs who may be the best fit as only dogs, or for larger dogs, dogs with a couple challenges, or cats who have some different medical needs. It's hard to find a foster for those guys, but then in addition, someone who's willing to market and find them a home. So the data was just showing us they were going into these foster homes and kind of just sitting there and not being adopted. Our staff was spending way more time communicating with foster parents about behavior versus adoption outcomes. So what we wanted to do was find a shorter term solution. And we looked at a survey of adopters that we did, and we found that the ones who chose our long stay pets, the main reason that they picked those long stay pets was that they just came to the shelter. It really wasn't any special marketing that we did, wasn't any special, post. We found that about 70% of them had just come to the shelter, and that's how they found their pet. So that's why we do the shelter staycations where they come back when the adopters can see them, is because we want them here when people are looking to adopt. Another reason we prefer this method is that we do a program called Silent Night, which is a holiday foster program, and that has about a 40% adoption rate, even higher with adult cats. So what we found, we know that if we do get them into foster homes, or if we do get them into staycation homes, it has about a 40% adoption rate. So generally they'll go into a staycation home and they don't come back on the weekend, and that's because the foster family has fallen in love and wants to keep them, which is a win for everybody. So that's why we prefer them to longer term foster homes. We found that just getting them out for a couple days was what they needed. They can decompress. We can gather lots of information. The dog or the cat has a nice break, and then they come back when the adopters are there. So that way they're not just kind of sitting and languishing in that foster pipeline. And then just a couple extra details about our staycation program. How it works is we have a pool of willing staycation fosters. We'll email or call them. We don't recruit very heavily for this program just because we have a foster sign up on our website, and when people check dogs, we just kind of file them into the staycation category. So our website gets a lot of traffic. We're very lucky that way. And it's very intentionally kind of drives people to that foster page. So we kind of have a willing pool of people, and our team will just email or call when we have someone who's eligible. We include the information on the pet's bio, on their website, social media, and kennel card. So if we do really want to get them into a staycation home, if we're talking about a particular dog or cat and we're like, gosh, we don't have any notes on this animal. They've been with us for like 25 days. No one's really signed in to meet them. They haven't gone on a sleepover. We don't have a lot of notes. Let's get them into a staycation home and get some great information. We'll start putting that information on their kennel. We'll start putting it on the website, or we'll do a post on social just so that people know and can ask about that particular animal. And we also have some other kind of unconventional opportunities, although I know a lot of shelters have these too. We do offer a dog day out, which is a 1-day break for dogs. We do a sleepover, which is 72 hours. So it's not a full staycation, but it's at the max 24, 48, 72 hours. We'll let people take home a dog if they're trying to decide. Again, we have traditional fostering for underage kids and traditional fostering for medical cases, but those are just some extra details about the program. And don't you just love this picture? Doesn't this just warm your heart? I love that picture so much. So that is the information that I wanted to share with you guys about our staycation program. This is all my information. I would love to talk to anyone about the program at any time. There's all my contact information. You're welcome to reach out to me. JHS is super happy to help anyone who would like to know more about this, but it's really worked for us in terms of our length of stay. We're thrilled to see the dogs go into homes. Generally what we find is that once they go on a staycation, they are adopted same day, next day when they come back. I mean, it's really just been a great resource for us. So that's the presentation I have. Kelly, I don't know if there's any time for questions or whatnot, but I'll go ahead and stop sharing the screen.
Yes, we have tons of time for questions. And
okay,
so
sorry, I wasn't sure how long I was supposed to present, so I made it. I watched some other ones. I made it quick just in case.
I appreciate that.
I can entertain any questions in the world.
Yeah. And since we do have time, would you mind giving us like just a little overview of the long stay task force?
The long stay task force.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So our long stay task force is a Maddie's award winning. We're very proud of that. We're a Maddie's award winning program. The long stay task force is it's a meeting that we have once a month at the Jacksonville Humane Society. The task force is comprised of basically one member, one representative from most of our different departments. So we have our director of ops and myself, we kind of oversee it. And then there's somebody from the medical team, the adoptions team, the ACE team, so our animal care and enrichment team, our communications assistant attends, our education team, our volunteer team. So we have somebody from each representative come to this meeting. We have a running list of any animal that has been in the shelter for 30 or more days. And we also include on the list someone, maybe a dog who might be a hospice adoption or like an FELV cat, somebody if they come to us and we know, okay, this is going to be an adoption barrier, or if they've come to us from another shelter and they've been there for a very long time, we will add them to the lengths of stay list. And then what we do at the meetings once a month is we kind of go through animal by animal, and we have a checklist of all the different things that need to happen, so that we can see, okay, is there anything we can do, or is there something going on that what's preventing this animal from finding its outcome? So it's a variety of things. It's basically, I'm trying to think of hold on, I have my notes from our last meeting and I can tell you. Some of them, last time we did 2 name changes because we decided that the names we felt like one was unpronounceable and then one was just not a good name. So we changed the names. A couple, we looked at them and we were like, uh-oh, these guys need new pictures. So we assigned somebody responsible for getting new pictures on there, on the website. There were some instances where we decided we need to move a cat because it's in a bottom kennel and nobody's asked to meet it. Or we need to move a dog to one of our suites so that it gets more attention. The reason I think I say invite so many people from your team is that there's so much information in your shelter that just sometimes doesn't get communicated correctly. For example, we had one dog. I was working on a grant because we thought this dog had cancer. And I had been corresponding with our chief medical officer about it. And then he finally had emailed me like 2 days before the meeting and was like, oh no, test came back negative, doesn't have cancer. Okay, great. I go to the long stay meeting and everybody's talking about how the dog has cancer and how we need to do the adoption counseling. And I was like, hold on, I just found out no cancer. Everybody was like, yay. So, but if I hadn't been in that meeting, I don't know when that information would have trickled down. So it's really helpful for us to get together once a month. And then the other thing we found is that prior to this, we had animals that, it's just kind of natural. We would all kind of latch on, like, because this one has a particular look, or oh my gosh, this cat weighs like 22 pounds. Lindsay's obsessed with it. Or this dog has 3 legs. But they actually weren't the ones who needed the most help. And what I love about the Long Stay Task Force is that it kind of enforces that no animal slips through the cracks. We're not playing favorites. We're doing a good job of marketing across the board, and it kind of keeps everybody on the same page. So I think Kelly's dropped the links in the chat. So it's really, really helped us to shortening our lengths of stay. And in terms of just doing a whole shelter approach, making sure that, we're talking about, is this dog cleared? Can it go to playgroup now? When we're doing rounds, has this cat been, can we move this cat, or can we clear it? Can we take the cone off? Just making sure the whole team is talking about it so that everyone's responsible for length of stay, not just our adoptions team. Or if you're on the marketing side, like I am, that it's, people are like, help, help, do a Facebook post. And I have to say, Facebook will not solve all of our problems. So I love the Long Stay Task Force.